listen. I don't know what's going on, okay? It's just, it could be my laptop. I don't know, okay? But we're going to try to make this work. Let me see. Let's see if we can try to make this work. Shout out to each and every one of you, you guys. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl Siren right here on the Siren Speak Show. Okay? Shout out to y'all. All right? And thank you to each and every one of you who come in and give this video a big old fat thumbs up as you tune up into the building. Okay? Hold on. Let me message everybody and let them know that, okay. Oh, God. Let me see. Hopefully, y'all can come in. Can y'all see? I had to do it from my phone. Okay. All right. Let me see who is up in the building. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Y'all see how it gets over here? Y'all see how it gets up and through, honey? Listen, ever since I've started really like working on myself, things are different. And that's why I wanted to talk to y'all about this. Okay. I'm trying to see how it is I can get this, phone to be still. But yeah, I'm trying to talk to y'all about this because it's like really serious. Okay, let me see if I can move this. Hold on. Maybe that's a lot better. Okay. Y'all, it is a fight out here just for me to do the smallest little things. Like now, ever since I've been like really working on this next level of myself, it's like, it's crazy. Okay, I don't like that. It's just, it's really crazy out here. I don't know why this, oh Lord, hold on y'all. Trying to get this light together, this lighting situation. But hey y'all, shout out to y'all. Thank y'all for giving the video a big old fat thumbs up. I appreciate it. Okay, hold on. I gotta do everything different now and try to move everything over. Let's see. Lord Jesus, y'all, hold on. Hold on. Okay. You get your little ass over here. How about this? You get over here. All right, so hopefully, there we go. Oh my God, y'all, thank y'all for y'all's patience. Y'all, this is my life every day. Now y'all see why I told y'all, this is why I don't go live like that. I do not go live, y'all. Everybody else can go live for 18 hours a day. Your girl come on here for 2 seconds and they do not want it to happen. When I tell y'all, I put my life at risk when I be trying to go live for y'all like this, I be dead serious. Y'all, I be dead serious. Let me try to lift this up a little bit. I don't be playing. I be dead serious, y'all. It's such a challenge for me to do the smallest things, okay? So let me turn this a little bit because that's in my face. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about what it is that I was talking about, y'all. Shout out to y'all. And again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Siren Speak Show with your girl, Siren. Before we get into my birth season and my whole little story that I was going to do with y'all, little story time, and then we're going to move into the subjects of today, which is the becoming her era and how to get your partner to love you. Okay, we're going to talk about those topics right there. We definitely want to take time to address the sponsors of the Siren Speak Show. Of course, you guys, of course. We want to give a shout out to Southern Soul LA. Okay, Southern Soul LA, you guys, is an LA-based restaurant. It's a soul food restaurant, you guys, a soul food business. Definitely, if you are ever in the LA area, you want to make sure that you get a plate of food from that place right there. Okay. You guys, okay, so let me see. You're saying it's frozen. Can y'all see me? Anybody? Is it frozen for anybody? Y'all, they are really just, oh, it's so hard, okay, to just do the average thing, like, all because your girl won't comply, I guess, right? Is it frozen? Is it okay for everybody? Okay, Anisha says, I still see you. Okay, good. All right, so you may want to log out and log back in. To anybody who it has frozen up for, okay? Log out and log back in, y'all. Okay, this has really been like very cray. Hold up, let's see. Okay, are we here? Is it on? Is it on? Y'all, this is like so crazy. All right, so I'm just gonna keep talking in hopes that, you know, everything work itself out. So for as long as I see that live button on, I'm just going to keep talking, y'all. Okay. All right. So basically, we were talking about our sponsors. Shout out to Fan First Entertainment, you guys. Y'all know Fan First Entertainment is a company that supplies all of your entertainment needs, regardless of what it is. A DJ, they do party rentals, bounce house, everything. Okay. They provide music for all of your events, whatever it is, you guys, they got you. They got your needs. Okay. So I want to give a thanks to Southern Soul LA and also Fan First Entertainment for the sponsoring of the Siren Speak show. Thank you guys so much. And like I said, you guys, make sure y'all get in contact with them. Make sure y'all look them up if ever you're in the LA area, and Fan First Entertainment is worldwide. So they're going to take care of you no matter where you at. Okay. What it is that we have going on up in the shop, let's talk about it, you guys. So what it is that's new, you guys know we still have our May healing box that is up, you guys. Our monthly healing boxes, you definitely want to make sure you get your hands on one. It puts you in a frequency that will help you to get through, you know, today's challenges, whatever your challenges may be. It will definitely help you to get through it. It'll help you to get to it, and it'll help you to get through it. Okay. Our monthly healing boxes does come with your body wash, your body oil, your body spray, your body scrub, you guys, and it comes with a candle. So it comes with everything that you need to kind of help your energy to ascend. You definitely, like, I'm serious, if you wear deodorant, you know what I'm saying, you want to try one of these boxes if you haven't already. All right. So yes, definitely make sure you get your hands on one of them. Right now, you guys, I'm working on so much, okay, next level stuff when it comes to energy, moving energy, tapping into energy, and all of that stuff. So I wanted to come on here and give you guys just a brief story time in regards to why it is that I'm doing what it is that I'm doing. And I wanted to start off with the fact that I was telling you guys it is my birth season, and thank you to everybody who sent, you know, over a donation to the Spiritual Candies mission, because, you know, that's what I asked for. You know, you guys asked, and, you know, whatever it is that you can do is really, I look at what people do, not how much people do. I look at the fact of, okay, you know, do people actually support me when it's my birthday? You know what I'm saying? When it's my time, when it's like, and that's just with a, hey, Siren, happy birthday. You know, I look at all of that, you guys, because at the end of the day, a lot of people look at me as if, oh, you have it all, or your life is, you know, this, your life is that. I'm still having a human experience, okay? And when it's my birthday, I want everybody to say, happy birthday to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a human experience as well. I like to receive gifts too. I don't want to always be the person giving damn gifts. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, I don't care if it's a card. I don't care if it's a happy birthday emoji. I don't care. Like, I want to be on the receiving end as well. And it is my birth season, and you guys have showed up, and you guys have showed out. And I definitely want to say thank you to each and every one of you who took 5 seconds out of your day. 5 seconds, $5 out of your account to say, I'm going to invest this in Siren. I'm going to invest this in Siren's mission. Shout out to each and every one of you who said happy birthday, who, whatever it is that you felt that your little soul could do. Listen, I am so grateful for it, and I definitely wanted to make sure I take the time to say thank you guys so much. It feels so good to be recognized. It feels good to be celebrated, you guys, because I'm always in the giving, you know, in the situation. I'm always in the giving seat, and when I can take time out of that seat and sit in the receiving seat and have so much outpouring and so much love, and, you know, people just like, even y'all know it's a lot of you that be like, Sarah, I just don't, you know, I don't have this, I don't have that, and y'all still would take y'all time and make sure that y'all do something to say, I just appreciate you, Siren. Thank you so much. And y'all, I see you. Okay. I see you. I don't want it to look as if I don't see you. I see you. Okay. And I know anything that you do, I know y'all, a lot of y'all situation. And when you still do something like that, just really, like, I'd be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know their situation and they still like did something like this for me. It just, y'all, it pours into my heart like I cannot explain. So thank you guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's get started, you guys, as to why it is that we're talking about this. We're going to talk about the becoming her era. Okay. With this becoming her era, you know, I don't know if you guys have noticed it, but with me being in the, oh my God. Yeah, my eye is like really irritated. It's always something. Anywho, with me being in the industry of, the vlogging industry and things of that nature, I started to notice things. I started to notice and see that a lot of people was becoming her. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on? What is this becoming? And y'all know with me, it was becoming goddess years ago. Okay, any fictional character you want to have dinner with? What the? I don't know what this is, Ch. I don't know what that is. I done did something, honey. Oh, I got out of it. Lord Jesus. So it was years ago I did Becoming Goddess. Okay, remember that was a tier on the Patreon, okay? That was one of the tiers on Patreon that I had selected and for you guys to join. And there was a lot of you who joined the Becoming Goddess tier. And it was just like all of a sudden I started seeing these people, everybody doing this Becoming Her. Who the is her? Who is she? Who is the her? So y'all, I don't know if you guys can see the world as I can see it. I look for answers and things. And I'm like, okay, who is this her that everyone is trying to become? I don't know if you guys have heard of it or have seen it or have seen, anything where it's becoming her. Who is her? Like, you should be becoming you, not her. You know what I'm saying? And I know her is a version of you, but her is a version of you that you're not familiar with. So it appears as if it's tapping into the energy of others, okay? Really pulling on the energy of others. Her is, if you have confidence and I don't have confidence, I can tap into your confidence to make me a better person, okay? Becoming her, because her is not me, okay? Her is not you. Her is someone else. And they make it as if, okay, they're becoming a version of themselves, but no. And it's like, I've noticed that people have been able to tap in and pick and pull. So this is why I tell you guys, you definitely want to make sure that you shield, okay? And you want to make sure that you protect your energy. Social media is creating these, allegedly. Okay, this is why they don't want my little arse on here now, because I just be spilling the beans, okay? Allegedly. And I don't want to say social, I don't want to say technology. I want to specify social media, okay? Social media is allowing these crosshairs, okay? These cross paths, okay? It's allowing access in ways that we may not have knowingly authorized, okay? Social media platforms allegedly may also be allowing others to, I want to say, invade, okay, our personal space. And your personal space is your spiritual space. So with your spiritual space being invaded, okay, now you have all of these folk that are now having access to your energy, having access to your personal, okay, information, and also access to your thoughts. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up now, people can have, allegedly, possibly, on a movie I saw, people may be able to access your thoughts, okay? And maybe be able to access other aspects of you, just like when you have your phone and you think of something and now your phone is showing it. Or if you're watching TV, your TV is now showing what it is that you're thinking. What if I am able to access your personal thoughts, okay? Meaning if you're thinking of me and I can access your thoughts, I will then call you. Hey girl, what's up? You like, what? Now, as a version of Siren, okay, as who I am, Siren, I am able to access, not willingly, or not, I don't want to say willingly, but I am able to access people's thoughts, but it's not something that I do intentionally. It only comes to me if a thought is directed at me, towards me, about me, things of that nature. I can, when people think of me, I can feel it. You know, I know who you are. I know you're somehow calling or you're trying to chat with me mentally. You may not be aware of it, but I then become aware of the fact that, oh, okay, so-and-so is like reaching out, like, what's up? Y'all, this is the most annoying gift that I probably do have. I don't really care for it too much. I appreciate it, but it is annoying because you'll be surprised of how many people are calling on me mentally or thinking about me or, you know, really trying to reach out. And I'm just like, oh my God. Oh my God. Even when people dream about me, people dream about me. People can pull you into their dreams as well, you guys. And this is why I say you have to protect your energy, because you may not be, sometimes you want to turn that phone off. You want to go on airplane mode or do not disturb. This is what you're going to have to do, is put yourself on do not disturb, you guys. Even when you have your phones and you want to put your text messages or your phone calls on, look, just do not disturb. Listen, you're going to have to do that also when it comes to your life, when it comes to your energy. Do not disturb, okay? If you don't want your energy disturbed, you guys, then there are things that you can do. There are ways that you can work on your frequency so that people are not able to access it. And of course, a part of that work is increasing your frequency. There are things that you can do to increase your frequency, such as change the way that you eat, change the way that you think, start researching, becoming more available to more knowledge, to higher knowledge and things of that nature. Start decoding your dreams. Start paying attention to any synchronizations that you may get. Also, you want to do your baths, okay? You want to make sure that you're cleaning your aura. You want to make sure that, you're using your sprays. If you don't have your own spray that you can create, then you can go to spiritualcandies.com and you can purchase a spray from there. Or if you know any other, form of product that you really love and it works for you, then utilize that as well. But we do have a responsibility now, or a need now, to put our energy on do not disturb, because it's not just people, okay? There are other beings, allegedly, that may be accessing your energy as well. I was watching a video and there was a guy who said when he wakes up, okay, he sees spiders, okay? Y'all, it's just this eye is so annoying. He sees spiders, right? And he's like, when I wake up, I'll see a spider, but then it disappears. And that's how you know that your energy is being manipulated, okay? The spiders are a race of beings, other entities. A lot of us think that entities look like us, like they all have, 2 arms, 2 legs and stuff, a head. No. We are just one type of being, of entity that are out here. There are multiple types of entities, okay, that are out here. And we've talked about this before with the arachnidans, okay? Them spiders are something else. They're very intelligent race of entities, okay, or very intelligent entities. To me, I think majority of them are feminine. This is why they are so intelligent. And to me, they possibly can insert themselves into you through foods that you eat, okay, allegedly. And this is just Siren speaking. None of what I'm saying is facts. This is all just for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so have fun with this information. These spider beings can actually get inside of you, okay? They can get inside of your food. They can get inside of you via other insects that may, be carrying their eggs. I was watching a video of, I think it was Young Pharaoh on the 607 Unk. I don't really with him like that, neither one of them, but they're very cool people. I don't know them like that to, judge them or anything. I just feel like when it comes to spirituality, I just think, the masculine energy tends to abuse it a little too much for me. They use it for profit, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't, really care for that. It is what it is, though. I understand, because that's what the masculine energy stands for. The masculine is the provider, so, he has got to make the money, but at what cost, Anywho, they were also talking about the spiders, okay, and saying how that, roaches carry spider eggs and things of that nature, or a version of eggs, because, when a roach have a baby, they have a whole bunch of them, you know what I'm saying? It's not just one, and they were talking about how the spiders, lay their eggs and stuff like that. And, you need to understand that you are always being monitored. I hope y'all don't think nobody see nothing y'all doing. Everything that you do is being monitored at all times. But the type of the type of monitoring that takes place, it varies by the species that is monitoring us, okay? So we have to make sure, you guys, that we are working on ourselves and we are healing ourselves. A lot of these species can attach to you based upon trauma. A lot of them want to study you. They want to, sometimes they can get inside of your brain and they can create, okay, a traumatic experience for you to experience. And then they want to study to see how you will respond, okay, to that experience, to that trauma. So sometimes timelines can be placed in your life for you to experience something and for a outside source to pretty much watch. You're like a science project, okay? And this only happens to those of us who vibrate towards it. Those of us who vibrate towards a higher reality, you know, things like this don't tend to happen as much. Things like this was happening to me, okay? And I realized that things was happening to me, you guys. And I told y'all when I used to suffer really bad, okay, from panic attacks and stuff like that. And I too would wake up and see spiders and stuff, and then they would fade. Once you can see them in the theta, when you go into theta, but once you come out of theta, then they disappear. So you have to be like in a trance-like state in order for you to see them. And once you get in that trance-like state, you guys, you can see a lot of things that are operating around you that you do not know are there, okay? So I think that meditation is going to be very powerful for us as well. Taking the time to meditate, to go more in like a trance-like state, just to see what it is that is around you in, okay, that theta phase, you know, opening yourself up. That theta phase is kind of like right before you fall asleep. You know how you not really sleep, you can still hear what's going on, you can still hear TV, but you're really not paying attention to it. It's watching you now. You're kind of dozing off into that. That is that theta phase, okay? And we tend to access that phase when we go into some sort of meditation. I know a lot of people say they have a hard time meditating. They have a hard time quieting the noise. You can just continue to try it, you know, until you get better and better and better at it. But I told you guys, moving forward, it is going to be required more of us to have a higher percentage of a spiritual based lifestyle as opposed to a physical. Remember, I told you when we first get here, we're 25% spiritual and we're 75% physical. So this is when we believe I'm only human. Okay, that's when we start saying things of that nature. That's when we really feel like we're supposed to go to school, get a degree, and become a doctor, a lawyer, or, you know, work a job and things of that nature. But as you transition in life, as you go from your single digits to now you're 10 years old, to now you're your teenage, now you're 18, now you're in your 20s. With each phase, you guys, we are supposed to elevate. We're supposed to evolve, right? And this is when we're supposed to tap into higher forms of consciousness and become higher versions of ourselves, which means the body will also be changing. Okay, the body will also change from, you know, I think we start with a carbon-based body, and then eventually we move into the higher realm of a cosmic-based body, okay? And as your body starts going through those different levels of ascension, you will have access to different levels of information and also different experiences, okay? As you tap into these new forms of the body, okay? I'm trying to find my little notes. Hold on, y'all. I'm really like having a hard time today. Hold on. I don't know what I did with it, which it should not have, no. It should not have moved, but it did. I just don't know where it moved to. Okay, let me see if it's over here. But let me see if y'all have any questions, okay? Yeah, there it is. All right. Anisha, you say, we were just watching them too. Talk about everything you just said like an hour ago, talking about the spiders. Yeah, I just really feel like, I don't know what's up with 607. I really feel like he used the spiritual agenda to get in the community. And now that he's in there, he's kind of dumbing down the message. He's kind of watering down what he puts out. You know, I understand that there are, you know, levels to what you can say. But I also feel like You can say more. You don't have to be afraid. Don't be afraid of the way you feel. I feel like you are protected if you are doing this from a legitimate space. Okay. I was watching when young Pharaoh was saying how all of his social media, he's like, I can't access social media. And he was like, you know, they will shut down my accounts and, you know, things of that nature. Those are the things that he says that they started to do to him. And I do feel like those things can happen. And it's when whatever happened, I don't know what happened between him and the others. I don't know how he fell off, or, you know, you don't ever make millions of dollars without authorization. You not money like that. You don't ever tap into that type of wealth in the third dimension without authorization, without permission. You know how in California, how they say, the rappers say, oh, when they go over there, they got to check in. You know what I'm saying? It's like in the third dimension, it honestly is like a game. Okay. You have to be a part of a certain gang in order to be protected. But it's not like that all the time when you are a cosmic being, okay? When you are a true cosmic being, before they get to you, because at first they're going to come at you and make you like kind of jump you in. They're going to want you to be a part of some sort of game, okay? This is all alleged, and this is just Siren speaking on the Siren Speak show. Okay, so they're going to want you to be a part of the gang because they're going to reach out to you. I told you guys years ago, around 2020, the Illuminati, okay, reached out to your girl. They know that you have gifts. They know that you have talents. And of course, they're going to want you to be a part of their team because they're going to want to use your talents for their advantage. Okay, and when they are able to use your talents, yes, they will start to make your social media blow up. All of a sudden, you have all of these numbers and all of these people and all of these donations. They will put you in places on TV and on higher networks and things of that nature. They will start to give you, you know, some sort of reward is what they call it, a reward for allowing them to utilize your gifts and or your talents and or your frequency. Okay, and or your time. A lot of them don't want your gifts or your talents. A lot of them want your time. Okay, time is very precious. Life is a gift. Okay, life, I don't care if your life is good, bad, ugly, indifferent. I don't care. It is a gift. And there is a being out there right now that wish they had your life, which is why we got alcohol, which is why we have drugs. Okay, to put you in a coma type state so that another entity can just sit inside of you for like sometimes 30 minutes, an hour, however long, you know, it takes for you to experience that high. Okay. And sometimes it's not even drugs. A lot of times it's food, you guys. A lot of entities allegedly may be able to access and experience you through foods. You ever notice why you crave certain things? Okay. Is it you? Are you really that hungry? And a lot of us have a battle when it comes to food. We have addictions when it comes to food. That's why they call the Food and Drug Administration. Years ago, they made it legal for certain drugs to be mixed in with the food, to create a state to put in people's mind to want you to keep eating. That's a part of the third dimensional experience, is eating and chewing. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. The third dimension has its place. It is a place of the material. It is a place of the rooted ways of us. It is a place where we are to experience things, you know, from a low vibrational state. But what happens is a lot of us come here and we get stuck here. There's so much to manipulate you here. This is a very dense part of us, okay? It is a very dense dimension. And when you get here, it's so much to keep you here. It's so much to keep you, you know, distracted and to keep you being here and things of that nature. But the third dimension has its purpose. You can learn a lot in the third dimension from a cosmic perspective. You can learn so much. Now, the third dimension to me is a school, but it is also a prison. Okay? It is a school for you to learn, and it is also a prison for, some people or some entities or some spirits who have to come back here because they probably have made some sort of agreement with another being, and now, they've sold their time, or they've sold a lifetime where they have to come back here, and that's when it's more like a prison, because you're not experiencing things that you want to, or you're not experiencing anything that is going to help you this lifetime. You're experiencing something that will benefit another being outside of yourself. Okay? Hold up, y'all. So, this is why the third dimension does have its place. And I think when a lot of us cosmic beings come here and we try to put the third dimension on blast, like, oh, they're poisoning the food, they're poisoning the water, they're trying to keep you vibrating to where you can stay in this realm. And in order for us to learn whatever we need to learn, we need the third dimension. We need this school, okay? We need this prison. Some of us need to be reformed anyway. We need this third dimension. So when we come here and we try to put it on blast and we try to call it out and we try to go against it, see, the thing is not to go against the third dimension. It's not to think, oh, it's all manipulated. It's to know that the third dimension can trap your arse if you ain't about this life. It is not to come here to change the third dimension. It is not to come here to try to blast the third dimension for the fuckery that it's about. And I think this is where a lot of our masculine come, because they're always trying to expose something. Everybody knows, even in the cosmos, we all know that the third dimension is full of but it's also a beautiful place. I think the fear is what puts people to a point where, oh, I need to wake people up. It's not, you don't wake people up by what you're saying. That's what I realized. You could talk till your head blow up. That's not how you're going to wake people up. People are not going to listen to you. People are going to watch you. You want to wake people up? Then you need to get to a position and you need to do things, okay, that people are interested in doing and or seeing. Because you can talk to people all your life. You can just give them all the knowledge you want. They will still take that knowledge and eat it with breakfast and do absolutely nothing about it. And you will spend all your life and all your time constantly trying to wake people up. It's not for you to wake anyone up. It is for you to experience the third dimension, and those who watch your experience will follow you. Okay, they will learn from that. So we have to make sure that we are not trying to go against the third dimension, because it's a whole dimension. You're not going to change it. You're not going to beat it, because it has a purpose. It's written in the cosmos to be here. So when you go against the third dimension, you're going against the prophecy. And that's bigger than the government. There's a prophecy. There's always a prophecy. So when we're trying to expose something, or when we're trying to change something, okay, then we have to know it's not for you to change the third dimension. It's for you to change you. It's for you to know your prophecy, because that's how you win. It's for you to know your prophecy. What is it that you need to change within yourself? What is it that you need to address within yourself? Right? That's how you're going to change this third dimension. It moves based upon all of our frequency. Okay, let me see if you guys have any questions thus far, and we'll get back into the topics, y'all. Oh, this bracelet here, I don't know how. Oh, there we go. All right. Shout out to y'all. Let me see, do y'all guys have anything to say? Somebody says, oh, I have a question. Okay, good for you. That's what's up. Yes. Hey to everybody who's tuned up, and thank you guys for giving this video a big old fat thumbs up. Thank y'all. I really truly appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's keep it moving. So, what we have to do, you guys, what our role is to really educate people by becoming, okay, a healed version of yourself. As you go through this school and as you learn and as you ascend, Okay, there are people watching. You may think that there is nobody watching. At first, I used to be like, you know what? Nobody, watches my lives. Nobody, I don't see any numbers or anything, but it's going to be manipulated. It's going to be manipulated. There is a back page to analytics that will show I have thousands of views, but on my main page, it shows like, girl, you only got like 10 views. I'm like, what? So there is always something that is going to try to manipulate in the third dimension. That's just how it is. Okay, there's always going to be that form of manipulation. So, and we're looking at, again, I think the spider beings, the arachnids, I really feel like they are a very powerful form of manipulation, but I always see the good, or shall I say the high and the low. Okay, when you have an arachnoid that is attached to you that is vibrating in its lower aspect, okay, then it's going to create some crazy experiences in your life. It's going to manipulate a lot of things in your life. There are a lot of movies where you will see the spiders that are attached to the third eye. They're wrapped around the third eye. The main place where I see them is in the third eye right here in the back of the head and or neck and inside of the stomach. Okay. Those are the main places that I see them, where to me, they like to attach themselves and cause some sort of manipulation and or havoc. Sometimes they can cause you to become a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to see how it is that you will handle probably the trauma that comes with being a millionaire. You probably think, oh, child, Biggie said, what, more money, more problems? That's what he said. It's kind of like, okay, they will come in and they will cause a lot of havoc in your life to see how it is that you will respond to certain trauma. Sometimes they can cause you to have to live out their trauma so that they don't have to come here into the third dimension. And they can cause you to live out, their trauma. And this is why I say we have a lot of NPCs here. We have a lot of people here that they don't have souls the way we think. They're not the type of people that we think. These are people who watch TikTok videos and want to mimic everything that they see. They're not creators, they're followers, okay? That's a telltale sign that somebody, okay, is, probably an NPC or is probably a created, piece of flesh, right? Because it's kind of like anybody can go rent a car. As long as you're 18 and older, you can rent a car. You can rent a body. These bodies are rented. They're just avatars, okay? So it's not like, this body is going to be here forever. And for as long as you're renting it, now you can sublease your body. So you got this body and now you're going to sublease it to other entities. Some of you doing it willingly, some people unwillingly, some people unbeknownst to them. Okay. I think a lot of people sublease their body when it comes to the dream state. When it's time for the dream state, I tell you guys, that's when you should be the most active. A lot of people think when they go to sleep, that's a time to just rest. No, your body rests. Your physical body will rest. But your spirit, your soul is doing a lot of work. Okay, your soul is doing a lot of work. And if you have no idea, if you are not aware, then they will put your spirit in autopilot while another entity is able to access that time for you. Time still goes. As you can see, when you wake up, it's a new day. Time is still moving, baby. So if you take your day and say there's 24 hours in a day, and let's say 8 hours out of that day, you are asleep. If you're supposed to be working 24 hours a day, those 8 hours you're losing every day. So let's look at how many hours you're losing per year. Okay, so there's 8 hours a day that you're losing because you're asleep and you don't know what's going on in your dream state, because you're not vibrating towards being alert and having your live dreams to where you don't have a body. You can do what the you want to do, y'all. You don't have, God give you a break from the body to travel, to do things that are not, you're not hindered by the flesh. That is your time to be free of the restrictions of the third dimension. And we do nothing with it. We go to, oh, I just went to sleep. I was tired. So let's look at it. We're looking at 8 hours a day time. What they say is 365 days a year. That is 2,920 hours per year that you're not taking advantage of. Let's say you are 25 years old. That is 73,000 hours of your life that you were not taking advantage of, that some entity has been taking advantage of because you weren't vibrating high enough to know exactly what it is that you need to do. A lot of us think when we go to sleep, we are at rest. The body is at rest. That is not your time to clock out. That is your time to clock in, and you got 8 hours of physical time that your body is in. Your body is laying there asleep. You got 8 hours to go and do as you damn well please. You can go to any realm. You can go to any city. You can go to any lifetime. You can go anywhere. Okay? Because you're free of the restriction of the physical, of the flesh. You just have to make sure that you return back to the body. And sometimes they have these beings that will take your body. And I think that's when a lot of us be fighting. When you have that, what they call the, y'all, what do they call it? When you can't move and all of that stuff. Listen, that's because you be fighting for your damn body back. It's another entity been jumped in your damn body while you sleep. And you wrestling to get your body back, because a lot of times when you vibrate high enough, you have a spiritual team that is surrounding your body. There's a spiritual energy that surrounds your body that protects it while you are away from the body. Y'all, it's serious out here. Just like somebody will steal your car, they will steal your damn body. And next thing you know, your family looking at you like they don't recognize you. Because you woke up, but you just not the same person. They just like, I don't know, ever since that day, she just been different. She don't eat the same. She want to do different things. A lot of people, this happens to them. They get jacked. And now their spirit is roaming in the spirit realm. They're in the sunken place because they done got jacked. Their body done got took. And now we're looking at them like, why are they looking? They like to do all type of different things that they didn't do before. Now they're doing those things now. It is serious out here, y'all. It really, truly is. Okay? So we got to make sure that we are shielding and we are protecting ourselves. We got to make sure that we understand the use of time that we have. You have, at whatever time you go to sleep, a lot of people don't like to sleep a lot. A lot of people want to sleep 3-4 hours. I don't understand that, honey, because when you go in the dream state, you guys, yo, I can do anything. You can do so much. You can experience people. And you can experience, and not just people, it's not just the flesh that we see. You can experience other entities. You can experience other dimensions. You can experience other realms. You can experience so much more in your dream state. You have 8 hours, however many hours you sleep, to be free of the restrictions of the flesh. Those are the hours that the devil, that they call, don't have his hands on you. When you get back in the body and you're in the restriction of the flesh, where now you have to, in order to move, you got to walk and take a step, or you got to roll, however you get around. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk through walls. You can't just go to Africa or Asia. You got to take a flight and do it that way. You know what I'm saying? You're back to the restrictions of the third dimension. You're back to the restrictions of the physical. And as you work on yourself, and a part of us, you guys, this is why I say this is like a school. A lot of you are behind. A lot of you are in your 30s and you're still in your carbon body. So as we age, there are different phases that we go through. There are different life lessons that comes with each age, right? So as we tap into our 20s, you know what I'm saying? There's a certain body required for our 20s. If you notice, the body is a lot more dense in your 20s because you can handle crazy foods. You can eat like crazy in your 20s. You can eat all that junk food. You can drink all day, all night. You can't do that in your 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. You can't do that. Then you're like, oh, no. So you have different phases of the body, and you're supposed to graduate into different bodies because there's a certain body that is required for your 50s. There's a certain body that is required for your 30s. If you're still in that carbon body, which is for your 20s, that is for your young age and your 20s, and now you like 35 and you're still in a carbon body, this is why you feel stuck. This is why you're unable to, manifest the way that you want. This is why you're able to, you're not able to get ahead the way you really want to. This is why things are a little slow. You guys, especially those of you who work with spiritual candies, you guys know that the minute you start doing your products, the minute you start using your baths and you work on your frequency, stuff starts to happen. You're just like, whoa. Like, because the products are made to place you in the body that is required for the experience that you're trying to have. But the products are not going to keep you there. You know what I'm saying? They're going to put you in that body. And when I say body, I'm talking the version of your body. So we start out with like a carbon body, okay? And then we move into a crystalline body, right? That's kind of like the body for like your 30s going into your 40s. And then you move into the celestial body. And that is like when you're in your 40s going into your 50s. And then you move into your cosmic body, which is like your 50s and up. The reason we need the cosmic body at 50s and up is because, you know, the world become more dense the longer that you're here. The third dimension gets more and more and more thick. So your body needs to become lighter, not heavier. Okay, your body needs to become lighter. So a lot of us who are in our 40s and we're still in a crystalline body, it's hard for you to move about. It's hard for you to get things done. You start to feel a little stuck or delayed in life. It's because your energy is delayed. And a lot of us who are in our, 50s and we're still in a crystalline body. You cannot manifest like that. It's impossible for you to manifest. It's kind of like a car. If you got a Mercedes or, any type of fancy car, you're going to have to put that 93 in there. You know what I'm saying? You cannot put 87 or 89 in those cars. They require a certain amount. But in another car, you can put that 87 in there all day long and it's going to work just fine. But the minute you level up to a different type of car, a higher end car, you're going to have to work with that new energy. So a lot of us, you guys, we're delayed. I can see your bodies and a lot of you are in the wrong body. Okay, this is what I look at when I do my work. Okay, I can tell by your age if you're in the right body, if you're in the right frequency. You're supposed to be in certain physical aspects of yourself. And a lot of us, listen, we trying to get there tomorrow. You know how it is when it comes to movement. You got walking, then you got like skating, then you got like riding a bike, then you got like driving a car, and then you got a plane. The faster you get there, you're going to need the bigger material to get there. So a lot of you are trying to move as if you have a plane or access to get on a plane, but you still riding on a bicycle. So it's going to take you extra long to get there. It's going to take you extra long to manifest what it is that you're trying to manifest because you still ride on a bicycle. We need to be saying, oh, you take the plane, you take a flight, you will be there in about an hour. But a lot of you are driving a car or riding a bike. Some of you skating and some of y'all walking. And this is why it takes so long for things to manifest or you're not seeing the results. I tell a lot of people, get you a monthly healing box. Now listen, the monthly healing boxes, you guys, are really to just help you guys to get through. They're really to help lighten your body, right? They're not going to help you with any type of karmic lessons or things of that nature. So, a lot of people will tell me, Siren, I feel like I've been doing so much work. You haven't. If you just doing monthly healing boxes, that's just really, putting a Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying? That's putting a Band-Aid. That's kind of like cleaning up the wound, but it's not healing the wound. It's not getting to the wound to where we can take the wound away. We're just really keeping it clean and putting a bandage on it. We're not addressing any wounds. So when it comes to moving towards these different bodies, you're going to have to do work. You're going to have to make sure that you are healing yourself, okay? There's a lot of previous life trauma that we came into this life. Like it's like when you rent a car, you getting ready to go out of town. So you're going to rent a car so that you can get around, right? That's how it is. You have this this body that you rent so that you can get through your karma, so that you can heal karma. Sometimes it's your karma. Sometimes it's, genetic karma, you guys. It could be ancestral. It can be universal. It can be cosmic. There's so much karma that we all come here to resolve. But you got to make sure that you are addressing your trauma. So to say, oh, I've done so much work. I'm like, okay, what work? What lifetime did you work on? What life were you in? Who were you in that life? What work did you do to address that? A lot of us, we're still doing work to address karma in this lifetime right here. We haven't even reached your previous lifetimes. You know what I'm saying? So when you say, oh, I've done a lot of work, I'm like, okay, how many lifetimes have you worked on? Who were you in that lifetime? What was your name? What was your role? Where are you in the books, the history books? Where are you in, all of the stories? We have so much work that we need to do. And we are always going to be working on ourselves. And even when we die, we're going to have to come back and do some more work. It's going to take multiple lifetimes to get this work. So that's why you want to make sure that you're doing as much work as you possibly can while you can. You're going to have to work on yourself. You're going to have to heal yourself. You're going to have to do shadow work. Monthly healing boxes, you guys, are just there to help you to kind of just deal with whatever trauma you got stored in you. It's just going to help you to, be just so you don't feel that much of the pain, right? You don't feel that much of the pain. But to get rid of a lot of your trauma, that requires a lot of heavy work. Right? That requires a lot of work. That requires a lot of change. If you are still the same person that you were 5 years ago, you haven't done enough work. Okay? If you are still the same version of you that you were 5 years ago, you haven't done enough work. When I say you feel so disconnected from your past, the past version of you, okay, you feel so disconnected, honestly, from a lot of family members and friends. You be like, I don't even know how the hell I'm related to them. Y'all, I be scratching my head like, ooch, but you feel so different. You feel so much further than where you were back then. The way you handle things, the way you see things, even the things that you want. I remember when years ago, I used to want, the dream house. I used to want a good job. Child, listen, if somebody offered me a damn job, I feel disrespected right now. If my husband be like, oh, you need to get a job, I would feel disrespected right now. Like, what? Years ago, I didn't think that way. I was putting in application after I was applying for jobs. I was getting jobs. I was working jobs. But now I'm like, oh, no. I'm not saying that working a job is beneath me. That's not what I'm saying. But I know that working a job is not going to help me. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to take me where it is that I need to go. So for me to stop doing what I'm doing and to get a job, it means I will be going backwards at this point in my life. Now, maybe in the future, it may require for me to get a job. But when I get a job, it's not required for me to just go clock in, work, and no. That means that there are some people either at that job or on my way to work, or maybe there's a store that I need to go to. There's a cashier that I need to meet. There's somebody that I'm going to need to meet on the path to that job or either at that job that is going to be very critical to my life path. So if ever I feel the need to get a job, I know I'm not doing it because, I need to make money. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing it because it is a part of my journey. It is a part of my mission. You see what I'm saying? So you get to that point. You get to become a very different version of yourself. You don't want the things that you used to want. You don't value the things that you used to value. So many things about you changes. So with these energies that we are experiencing now, as you guys see, we did have, y'all president, whatever, talking about, with that war and all of this stuff that they're talking about, and they're talking about all of these beings. And who are the aliens? The aliens that they're talking about when they say that the aliens are going to come and we're going to have an alien invasion and all of these, beings that listen, it's you. Once you step into your higher self, there is nothing outside of you that they're talking about. It is you awakening to yourself. A lot of people will come online with different versions or higher versions or tapping into more celestial bodies. There are more cosmic body beings that are about to become awakened. You are the invasion. They don't want you here in that higher version of yourself. They don't want you because it goes against you can be in the third dimension, but if they're not able to control you, they don't want you here. If they're not able to manipulate you, they don't want you here. And that's just how it is. They don't care for you to be here. You are a thorn in their arse. Okay, because everything they're trying to create, everything they're trying to, make real, you go against it. So it's like they have to work harder just to make it what it is. And don't let you like tap into your higher version of yourself, but you really not aware. Which is why I told y'all when I said the Pope got them people, he said people doing too much black magic out here. People right here rubbing oils on their ties and oils on their body and spraying themselves, and people lighting candles, and people trying to manifest because they all about the material, honey. Ain't nobody trying to manifest common sense. I ain't seen nobody go out there and try to manifest common sense. They putting all type of, I want a house, I want a car, I want money, ain't nobody trying to manifest common sense. You don't need money to exist in this third dimension. You need common sense. See, the third dimension will make you feel like you need all of that other stuff, all of that material, all of that glitz and glam and being famous and all of this stuff. They make you feel as if you need that. Oh, that's what it takes to survive and to win in the third dimension. Why is it that it takes all of that when you take none of that with you when you leave? None of it you can take with you when you leave. So you want to try to manifest different things. You want to try to work on manifesting what you need. You need to understand the weapons and the tools that you will need to survive in this third dimensional realm. We around here fighting for money when the dollar has zero value. It represents debt. It is actually in debt right now. It represents debt. The money has zero value. So why are we putting so much value on money? I don't understand that. It's like we're putting value on a freaking turd. Oh yeah, that's the thing right there. I want a whole bunch of turds. We look crazy. And it's like when me seeing people eat shrimp. Now, for those of you who eat shrimp, that's your business, but that is the nastiest. It is the bottom feeder of the ocean. They literally got y'all eating the roaches of the ocean, and they turn it into a delectable. Look at how foolish we got them. We got them eating roaches and paying the most money for sea roaches. People feel like they balling out of control because they have a plate full of shrimp and lobster, and you're eating the waste of the sea. That's like if you see a being come here and they start eating roaches and they selling it and making money for it, and you looking at them like, ew, like, oh my God, they're literally frying roaches and have a roach pasta. That's how they looking at y'all from the ocean, from the waterways, from the water dimension. They look at you in disgust. It's like, oh my God, they're disgusting. They eat roaches. They dip it in sauce and put boiled eggs and sausage with it. It's just funny how the third dimension can flip things, really and truly flip things. And make y'all think that you're doing right when they're leading you the entire wrong way. They make you think, oh, you need to go and you need to get a degree. You need to get a degree because you're going to have to make money. You're going to have to get a job, and you're going to have to buy a house. You're going to have to buy a car. You're going to have to eat. You know what? Honestly, we don't need to eat. And the more you get into the right body, the less you eat. The reason we have an overweight problem in America, according to Siren, this is allegedly, is because we have a lot of people who are in the wrong body. You're not in the right spiritual body. Okay, you're still in the body that you should have been in, and when you was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way up into 20. So you desire more. You want to eat more. Okay, the more you get into the higher spiritual bodies or the higher spiritual versions of yourself, the less you will want to eat. Because those bodies cannot handle low vibrational foods. They cannot handle low vibrational experiences. This is why a lot of people, when they go in certain areas, when you go in crowded areas or when you go around certain people, when you're in that lighter body and you're in the correct body, you can't tolerate those people. Nothing against them. You just energetically cannot tolerate those people. They're going to make you feel like just, you're going to feel some type of way when you come around those people. If you can go in any area at any time, then something is not right with you. That means you're not able to pick up on anything. You have no antenna. You're not able to pick up on any energy. You can have some crazy energy around you and you cannot pick up on it. This is why I promote, rocking your natural hair. This is why I promote stop shaving under your arms, stop shaving all of your hair off. Why do you think the third dimension wants you to get rid of all of your hair? It doesn't want you to be alert. It wants you to put a helmet on top of your head. It wants you to put, wigs on top of your head. It wants you to put glue. That is a formula. Y'all gluing this stuff down to your head, that is a formula. They created perms. It's always an attack on the hair. Why is it that they're constantly going after the hair? And I feel like a man who's only attracted to a woman who's bare down there, they find that sexy. It is very childlike, just so you know. It speaks of infantry. It speaks of youthfulness. Is that what you're really attracted to? Because see, I'm a grown woman, and you need to know that. I've been here, I've aged, right? So I shouldn't be bare. I shouldn't be bald. And that should not be sexy to you. Why should your wife and your daughter look just alike? You know what I'm saying? Why should your wife look like a baby just for you to get excited? That is something that I just feel like is very weird, okay? But society makes us feel like that's sexy. Now, granted, to have it all sticking out, no, I say keep it nice and trimmed and keep it very much so underway. Definitely keep it nice and trim, but I feel like this is very sexy. There's nothing you can't tell me about my hair to make me feel like, cover that up and put a straight wig on. But you got me messed up. You finna get all of this, okay? You finna get every ounce of this. And I'm not gonna feel insecure or less than because I don't have a wig on or I don't have some weave going all down my hair, all down my back. Why should I have to change who I am? Now, granted, I wear wigs for fun. I do. And when I get lazy and I don't want to deal with all of this, yes, I throw a wig on top of it. But I don't do that because I feel like I have to do that or to feel sexy. No, I do it when I'm being lazy, honestly. When I don't want to deal with this, then I'm like, okay, let me braid this down and let me throw a wig on it because I don't feel like dealing with this hair this week. But never, ever, ever in my long-legged life will I feel I have to have a wig on my head in order to feel and or look sexy. When you see a wig on me, that's the siren being very lazy. Yes, she's in her lazy area. In her lazy area, yes, she is. She's in her lazy era. That's what it is, okay? So working on your frequency, you guys, working on yourself. I always tell you guys, we got the 25 and we got to become 100 in order to get up out of here. Otherwise, you're going to turn around and you're going to come right back, okay? When I say 25, I was speaking to it earlier. When we first get here, we're 25% spiritual and we're 75% physical, okay? By the time you get in your 20s to maybe early 30s, you should then be 50% physical and 50% spiritual. That is called enlightenment. It is called evolution. Okay? So by the time you get in your 30s to 40s to early 50s, you should be 25% physical and 75% spiritual. That's the wisdom. That's why you get that gray hair and all of that stuff. That's because now you're under battle with Mars. Okay, and that's where you get gray hair because the iron gets low, the vitamins get deficient, all of that stuff because you've been here so long and you have so much that is pulling all of your minerals and things of that nature. But when you are in the right body, you can handle it. This is why you see some people who we look up to now, like Buddha and the alleged Jesus Christ and the alleged, Vishnu and all of it. When we look up to those energies, you guys, when we look at those energies, it's like, how were they able to survive? So by the time you get into the ladders of your year, your 60s and 70s, this is where you become the crone. So you should be 100% spiritual, meaning you're returning back to source. Now you're 100% spiritual and you're ready to return back to source. But a lot of us cannot return back to source because when we die, we still 25% spiritual and 75% physical. Or we're still 50% spiritual and 50% physical. We have not returned back to source. So there's certain things that you need to know. There's certain things that you need to experience. It's like going to school. They give you your itinerary. They tell you what you need to learn, what you need to study in each level. And if you study and learn that and you pass it, you move to the next level. A lot of us are not moving on to the next level. We're staying stuck. We're staying stagnant. Okay? We're not moving on to the next level. So we definitely have to work on that, you guys. Like I said, there are certain things, you know, I give seminars. I give a lot of seminars. We talked about the detox. Shout out to those of you who did the recent detox, okay, with your girl. It's just y'all gonna have to start investing in yourself. You're gonna have to start investing in your soul, in your spirit. A lot of y'all invest more in your physical. You're gonna buy hair. You're gonna get your nails done. You're gonna get your hair done. Okay, you're gonna get cars, you're gonna order Shein, order all of this stuff. Oh, I'm finna go here, but you guys don't have a budget for your spiritual self. Not one time do a lot of people get up and say, you know what, this month, and you know, I'm gonna make sure I start incorporating a budget so that each month I can work on my spirit body. This is why when we get older, we're still in a younger body spiritually. You're still looking like a baby spiritually. And this is why a lot of the energies come and they can manipulate you because they can see your spirit body. And they're like, oh, child, look, they could easily manipulate you. They could easily manipulate you. So we got to make sure that we're healing, okay? You want to go from one body to the next body to the next body. In order for us to leave and get up out of here, we need to be in the cosmic body. Otherwise, you're coming back. Otherwise, I'm telling you straight up, you're coming back, okay? And a lot of us, we have other lifetimes that we have to work on. Some of you haven't even gotten to the point where you're working on those lifetimes yet. Some of us are still working on this lifetime right here. We still trying to, you know, figure out little small things about us, you know, and everybody is on their own pace. You know, everybody go at their own pace, but I'm just saying you have a ways to go. You know, there's so much that you're going to have to get through. It's like you have those 12 years. You know what I'm saying? And in school in order to get that diploma. So a lot of you, if you keep failing the third grade, when you die, you still at what, third grade? You got to come back. You got to do it all over again. You got to start over. You got to do it over again. So with that being said, you guys, we're going to move on from the spiritual aspect of this. We're going to tap into the relationship. Love, 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 love. How long we been on? We've been on here too long, y'all. We've been on here too long. Okay, let's go ahead and tap real briefly into the relationship aspect. We've already talked about the importance of working on yourself, the importance of, you know, why we need to work on ourselves, because I'm telling you, if you're trying to come back here, then okay, take your time, young man. Don't you rush to get up. Listen. There are certain levels you should be at when you're at a certain age. When you're in your 20s, when you're in your 30s, when you're in your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, I don't care how old it is, there are certain levels energetically that you should be at, okay? And when you're not there, this is what creates conflict. This is what creates havoc in your life. This is what creates stagnation. This is what creates detours and, you know, things just happening a lot slower than you would like for them to be, okay? So when it comes to relationship, you guys, real quick, somebody asked me, how do I get him to love me, Siren? I thought that was the craziest question. Without being a pick-me is what she said. She didn't want to be a pick-me. She was like, without being a pick-me, like, how do I get him to love me? Or how do I get this person to love me without feeling like a pick-me? And I had to say, what the is a pick-me? You know what I'm saying? And I have heard terms of people saying, oh, she's a pick-me, she's a pick-me. I think you guys need to know what a pick-me is. You know, a pick-me to me, okay, this is just Siren speaking on a Siren Speak show. Okay, a pick-me appears to be a woman who is desperate. Okay, meaning she will go to any lengths to get a man to choose her and or to remain with her. To me, the biggest pick-me is a woman who will cast a spell to get a man, to bind a man to her, to get him to go against his free will. That's the biggest pick-me. I don't think there's no pick-me bigger than that. There are women out there who's like, oh, okay, pick-me, I will be submissive, you know, or pick-me, I will wear what you want me to wear, or, you know, whatever type of food you like. That is one type of pick-me, right? That is one type of pick-me where they come off as, you know, a little desperate, I'll do whatever, you know, but then there are those secret, hidden, you know, hidden pick-me's that will do work on a man, against his free will, to make him pick her, to make him stay with her, to bind him to her, doing a binding spell. I think so for the young lady who, that's what I feel is a pick me. Okay. How do I feel about binding spells? I feel like it gives off very much so pick me. Okay. I feel like it is a desperate form of a form of love. Okay, I feel like the person who feels that they need to do a spell on somebody or do any type of magical working or go to some sort of practitioner to manifest the outcome of a relationship that wouldn't happen naturally on its own. I think that is giving very thirsty. I think that is giving very pick me. I think that is giving very disgusting and very low. And I think people who do spell work to manifest love in their life need help. I think they really need to get some self-love about themselves. They really need to take some sort of self-love course, or they need to get help with maybe some type of therapy or counseling to see why it is that they don't feel, enough. They don't feel sexy. They don't feel lovable. They don't feel worthy. Okay. I don't think anyone who has ever done a binding spell should have a conversation about what a pick me is, or, being desperate, for love or things of that nature, because I have never had to do a binding spell. I have never had to light a candle. I have never had to go to a practitioner, all of that for love. No, love will find you when you find it, and love is you. It comes from you. So, anything that you do outside to manipulate others, you're also manipulating your own love life. You're manipulating yourself. So why would you want to manipulate yourself and put yourself in a relationship with someone who's up under an illusion? They're not seeing you for what you think they're seeing you as. They're not with you for the reason you think they're with you. It is because they are under some sort of entity, manipulating them to make them feel like you're the one and that they should be with you and stay with you. And I think that is giving very pick me. So that's what I feel about without becoming pick me and about binding spell. Listen, I don't have time for that. For those of you who feel like you need to do that, then like I say, get help. Okay, really truly get you some help, get you some counseling, whatever it is that can help you address why it is you feel you need to manipulate somebody into being with you, because that is just very crazy. Even when it comes to manifestation, when it comes to other things in life, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, it's like, don't be lazy. Do the work on yourself so that you can vibrate towards that experience. Do the work on yourself, because when you heal yourself, when you get that counseling you need, when you address that situation that's causing you to feel the need to manipulate somebody, and when you heal that, you will then attract love from yourself, which will help you to realize, hey, I don't need to bind nobody to me. What am I binding people to me for? What the... if a man don't want me naturally, if a man don't, need to be with me naturally, then he's not the one. You know what I'm saying? There is somebody out there that would naturally be attracted to you and that would naturally love you and that would naturally want you. And you shouldn't have to do any type of spell work for love. Do spell work for self-love if you're going to do it. Do some work to help you to love yourself, to recognize yourself, and to reward yourself. Okay? I just don't get down with, any type of magical or, spell work or whatever it is that people do to manipulate other people. I would hate to be up under that. In the past, I have dealt with somebody who allegedly, did spell work to manipulate me. And there were certain things that I noticed then that I didn't notice it then, but I noticed now and later, after the connection that this person was doing to manipulate me in the connection. And it wasn't until I started to work on myself spiritually that I realized that some of my panic attacks was because I was trapped, okay, or being trapped or being pulled in a false connection, okay, with someone who was doing magic to try to get me to be with them or trying to get me to be back with them. You know what I'm saying? That created a lot of anxiety within me because my soul was being called in a reality that wasn't something that I would have chose on my own. So that's why I say it's not fair when you do things to try to manipulate people. It's not right when you try to trick somebody into being with you or try to get them to go against their free will. If that person does not come towards you naturally, then you need to mind your business. You need to work on yourself and find the person who will come towards you naturally and be okay with that person. right? A lot of people will try to, trap, men because of money. All these basketball players and football players. There's been a lot of women that have done things to try to trap these men. I remember watching a story. I don't know if it was T-Pain. I cannot recall exactly which rapper this was, but he did I don't want to say it was a documentary, but he did some type of story where he was talking about a groupie who put a spell on him, who wanted to be with him and was trying to trap him with the baby. And his girlfriend or fiance, I don't know, the girl he was actually with, every time she kept having miscarriages, and she didn't understand why she kept having miscarriages. And they found out that some groupie was putting spell work on him to try to get him to have a baby with her, right? And I guess they found out, and they did whatever it is that they had to do. But it's crazy out here, you guys, that people will go to such desperate lengths to get a result. People are so selfish. Some people can be so selfish, and I think that is very much so a selfish act, to try to do something, or even to try to demand. Like, even people who try to manifest money, or people who try to manifest a house, like, why do you feel you need that? If you don't vibrate towards it, then it is not yours. Stop trying to work in a frequency that doesn't belong to you. You know what I'm saying? To just get some sort of desire, some material desire that you want. And this is why this world has so much havoc in it, because you have so many people, unbeknownst to them. Some people may go to practitioners and get spell work done, but some people are, I just, I get up and I say my affirmations. That is still magic. That is still magic. You're still trying to manipulate, okay? Instead of becoming. When you want to become her, for real, become her. But stop trying to manipulate her. Stop trying to manifest her without doing the work, without doing the healing. That version of you that is very successful as to what you see, what did she do to get there? That's what you need to be manifesting, the strength, the courage, the discipline. But instead, you're trying to manifest a result for something or someone who is like, you're not ready for her. And this is why when I work with people, when I work with your energy, a lot of people want to become things that they are not. When they first meet me, Siren, I want to be this. You're going to do the work. You're going to do the work. You're going to have to do the work. We're not going to go over here and say, hey, okay, look, you can have this tomorrow. Absolutely not. I'm not the devil. I don't make deals like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't make deals like that, because what I don't want is your energy. I don't want your frequency. That's what the devil wants. I give you all of this in exchange for your soul. I don't want your soul. I don't want your soul. I really want to see you grow. So this is what you got to do to get there. This is what you got to do to become this. This is what you got to do to get that. This is what you have to do to get to that level. So I educate people on what it is that they need to do, the healing that they need to do. Sometimes you just need to heal a version of you. Sometimes you need to just change a belief system. I didn't get into the six-figure lane until I stopped saying money was the root of all evil. I had to stop believing that. I used to say, money the root of all evil, but then we get up and go to work for it. We go to the gas station playing lottery trying to get it. We will rob people for it. We praise it the minute we get it. Ain't God good? Won't he do it? But then we want to say it's the root of all evil. So it's like it's a contradiction right there. It's weird. So when it comes to love, you guys, love yourself. I think a lot of people who don't experience love, self-love, are the ones who don't believe in real love. Because there are some women out there who just feel like they don't believe in love. They really, truly don't. They just want quick access to what a man got and what a man can do. And that's it. They really don't believe love exists, or they really don't believe a man can love you. They don't believe a man can be faithful to you. A man is only going to treat you the way you treat yourself. He cannot treat you any better than the way you treat yourself. Okay? That's point blank, and that's period. That's anybody who you experience. You cannot experience people outside of the frequency that you vibrate towards. If you go somewhere, if we go to a store, let's say everybody who's in this live, we all go to a store and one of us get robbed. Why didn't that person rob all of us? Why were you the person who got robbed? So that person didn't do nothing to me because I wasn't the one who got robbed. You were the one who got robbed. Why did that person not rob me? Why did they choose you? Because you were the one who vibrated towards the frequency that that person was vibrating towards. Years ago, I was in the bank and the bank got robbed, right? I'm telling y'all for real. Years ago, I was in the bank got robbed. As I'm talking to the lady, not the teller, but it was the lady at the front desk. You know when you first walk in the bank, they got that one person who you could talk to right there in the front and they'll tell you where to go. I was talking to that person at the desk. And these guys walk in and he puts a gun to her head. Me and her literally face to face talking, but he walks around me and puts the gun to her head. So I'm sitting here talking to her, and next thing I know, I see a gun pointed at her head. And I'm like, oh my God. So I couldn't leave out because I'm turning around trying to go to the door. I'm like, woo, chat. It was two of them standing at the door like this. I'm like, oh, Lord Jesus. So everybody get down. Old Siren is on the ground. First of all, I did not want to get on the floor, y'all. I don't know. Y'all look. I'm like, oh, Lord, people done been walking on this floor all day. People done stepped in spit, piss. I'm not laying on this floor. So I tell the guy, listen, let me find a carpet. Let me go to like the little office. You know what I'm saying? You know how they got little cubicles? I wanted to get down in one of them. Let me go over there and get down over there. I don't want to get down on this floor because I don't think they mopped it and it just look a little dirty, right? So I gets down over there in a cubicle and I'm like, let me just sit over here, okay? I'm not really good with, laying on a hard floor. I can't do that. They were very nice. I ain't gonna lie. So the entire time they're robbing the bank. One of them has got the manager, they're getting the money out. Two of them at the door. The other one is like walking around, looking at everybody on the ground. And then there's another one who's there and he's over there by me. He's like, ma'am, calm down. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh my God, please hurry up. Just hurry up. Give me the money. Please hurry up. Siren was over there just shaking. And I was shaking so hard that you could hear me click, 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 click. You can hear me like clicking on the floor. I was shaking just that hard. So he's like, ma'am, you're going to be okay. We don't want your money. We want the bank money. And I'm like, that is my money. I just made a deposit, But anywho, so he's like, you're going to be okay. We finna leave here in a little bit. You're going to go home to your kids. You're going to be all right. You all right. You good. Just chill. Relax. This will be over in a little bit. We almost out of here. Like he's literally over here talking a bank robber. He's holding the gun to everybody else. He's facing them with the gun and he's talking to me like this. Just talking to me. So when they leave, they get the money and they leave and the police get there. Everybody in the bank was like, I think she know them because they was helping her. Like everybody thought I must have known them. Everybody thought like they were catering to her, okay? They wanted to make sure that she was okay. Like people literally told that to the police. So after, when they left the bank and the police is holding everybody because they want to question everybody, I got all the police around me. I got a load of police around me like, ma'am, did you know them? I didn't know them. I didn't get to see. I didn't look. I didn't say, no, I didn't see them. I don't know nothing. No. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, well, why? They asked me, why do you think they were so concerned with your safety? I say, I don't know. I have the slightest idea. I don't know. And I didn't. But that was my vibration. That was my frequency. That even in the midst of a weird crime, the mother who's doing the crime is using their nice, nurturing, feminine energy to make sure that I'm okay. Somebody else probably could have got pistol whipped. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. You're going to vibrate, towards that connection in a relationship. Me and my husband, we have had the same passcode. We have the exact, whatever his passcode is for his phone is what it is on my phone. We have the exact same passcode. So if anything were to happen, I know someone who recently their significant other passed away, right? And with that being said, it's like she couldn't get in his phone. He kept his phone on lock. Like even when he's there, she's like, oh, I don't know how to access his phone. And I thought that was the craziest thing. I'm like, what? Like you can't get in his phone. She didn't have the password to his phone. Even after he died, she could not get in that damn phone. He had it to where even if she go to the phone company, her name was probably on the do not give her information. I don't know. But I just thought that was the craziest thing. I am so in love with myself, you guys. I am so in love with myself. And y'all, please forgive my little 10 thing, y'all. I'm just like, oh my God, I don't know what the I was thinking. But anywho, I am like so in love with myself that I feel like I just deserve the best. I feel like I just deserve love. Y'all, hold on. Look, let me fix this. Okay. I really, truly feel like I deserve love. It's like sweating. I got this widow's peak, honey, and it's just like, And I do. I feel like I deserve love. I just feel like I want the fairy tale. You know, it kind of reminds me of that movie Pretty Woman. I'm like, I want the fairy tale. You know, I really, truly do. I want the fucking fairy tale. And I feel like I have the fairy tale when it comes to me and my husband, when it comes to our connection. Once I said I do, and once I got married, that was it, y'all. It was out the door with anybody else. Like, I'm just like, I'm not just loyal to him, I'm loyal to me getting the fairy tale. And he only responded to me. He responded to my frequency. He responded to my situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, we had passwords on our phone. You know what I'm saying? When we were like dating, you know, I didn't want him going through my phone. He didn't want me going through his. And I'm like, okay, you know. And it was like, once we got married, that went out the door. We're in the next phase of this. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I can honestly say that when it comes to my husband, when it comes to my marriage and my relationship, I can say that I feel safe in it. Because I know how I am with me. You know, I know that I feel like I am worthy of true love, right? And I am content with being in love with myself. And I know the more that I pour into me, I'm only going to experience that outside of myself. So our commitment only shows me how committed I am to myself. A man can love you, and a man can be faithful and loyal to you. And so can a woman. I think when I saw young Pharaoh, he said that a woman can't be faithful, a woman can't be loyal, you know, and I think he's speaking from his experience, but I think 607 was saying that you cheating on yourself. That's why a woman cheats on you, because he says, oh, every woman cheats. You know, every woman cheats, but you gotta know how, you gotta know when, you gotta know why. Remember that, what's that song, Secret or whatever? Anywho, so he's saying every woman cheats. Or, you know, there are women out there who say every man cheats. I've seen some women out there who say every man cheats. Every man can cheat, but it doesn't mean every man cheats. Sometimes when you love yourself and when you are healed and when you are always healing and you are growing, a man will not want to cheat on you. A man will be in love and be so loyal to you. You ever seen those cute little couples that have been together for umpteen years? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and they're so in love still. They're so loyal and so dedicated to each other. It's like, whoa. You know, that is a secured relationship. That is a protected relationship. And it's only protected by the universal laws that you vibrate towards what you get. Now, with young Pharaoh saying, oh, every woman cheated, I don't believe women can be loyal. And 607 was like, that's because you're not loyal to yourself. You cheat on yourself. Young Pharaoh didn't understand that. He was like, oh, no, I don't cheat on myself. I am loyal to myself. You know, I do some crazy thing he said that he does. That's how he know he's loyal to himself. You're not. You're not. Okay? You're not. That is a clear telltale sign that you're not loyal to yourself when you're dealing with somebody who constantly cheats on you. Okay, when you're dealing with somebody who they're only showing you something about yourself. That's all they can do. Anybody you're connected to is only going to show you something about yourself. Okay? And this is the whole purpose of relationships is for them to mimic. Everything is like a mirror. Everything outside of you is only going to mirror what's going on the inside. So if you are constantly attracting somebody who's cheating on you, then you need to see where it is that you're cheating on yourself. Some of us who know our purpose, but we're still deciding to work a job and stay out of our purpose, you cheat on yourself. So of course you're going to get somebody who's going to treat you like shit and somebody who's going to cheat on you because you're cheating on yourself in life. Okay. Some of us are in relationships that we know we got no business in. You know that this person, you know, is not right by you, but you're still choosing to be with somebody. And that's how you're cheating on yourself because you're settling. Some of us are settling when it comes to careers. It's like, well, this just paid the bills, so I'm going to just do that. You're settling. You're cheating on yourself. So it's like you got to know exactly what it is that you're doing to you, because your mate, your partner, that's their role in your life, is to mirror life back to you, mirror you back to you. So when you're looking in that mirror and you're saying, no, I don't like what I see, then you need to change what it is that you see by becoming the change. You have to address what you're seeing in the mirror, because it's only showing you what it is that's going on the inside. When you are healed, when your heart chakra is healed, or healing, because I don't know if it'll ever be fully healed, but when you are healing and working on your heart chakra and working on yourself, you can experience a bliss. It is love that feels blissful. And I'm so grateful when it comes to me and my relationship that I feel the bliss. I feel the love. Okay. I feel so in love. I feel so grateful that I just, you know, a lot of people, it honestly, it does. It feels like bliss. It feels like love. It feels good knowing that I don't have to seek another man for anything. Like everything I want, my husband is able to, you know, provide that for me, right? And he's able to return love to me. My husband was not the lovey-dovey, like touchy-feely. Like my husband was like, come here, girl. And that was like the only touchy-feely you really got from him. He wasn't the type to, you know, let me hold your hand, let me get, none of, He was a thug, okay? He was a straight up hood. My baby was a straight up thug. He was not into that. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't kiss you unless y'all were being intimate, and he wasn't into kissing in public, and oh no, none of that. But it wasn't until I healed myself, and when I experienced that version of him, I wasn't being intimate with myself. I wasn't showing myself, you know what I'm saying, how much I love myself. I wasn't paying attention to what I like and what I don't like. I wasn't paying attention to who I like and what I was just taking whatever the universe, whatever I came in contact with, it was like, hey, that's good enough. And sometimes you just have to nurture yourself. You have to pay attention to what you like and only go for what the you like. Stop settling for what you come in contact with. That's not good enough. That's not self-love. You need to take the time to know what you like and know what you need, know what you want. A lot of us, we don't know. We're just guessing and hoping and seeing somebody else got that, so I want that. The TikTok say this, so I want this. You know, you got to take the time. That's how you nurture yourself. It's finding out what you like, what you don't like, what you want, what you don't want, who you are not. Are you a woman that is being cheated on? Then no. If I'm not a woman who's being cheated on, that's the woman I'm going to be. A woman who is experiencing a very loyal love, a long-lasting love. You shouldn't have to take and manipulate somebody and do spell work on somebody, because automatically, where are you manipulating yourself? Where are you getting over on yourself? Where are you robbing yourself of your own free will? Okay? So when it comes to love, you guys, that's my little 2 cents. When it comes to relationships, this is how you really can get somebody to love you, is by loving yourself. When you are honest with yourself, okay? When you are loyal to yourself, and when you love yourself. When you say, hey, if it's not the right person, if I want somebody who does this, then you got to be that somebody who does that. And I'm not going to settle. I'm like, oh, well, no, I ain't going to worry about it because, you know, he do kiss me from time to time. No, get exactly what it is that you want. That's how you love yourself, by giving yourself exactly what it is that you want and or need, okay? So with that being said, you guys, don't forget, tune into spiritualcandies.com, you guys, for all of your spiritual ascension needs. Don't forget to do that. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.